Capital murder defined. Punishment. The following offenses constitute capital murder, punishable as a Class 1 felony. The words don't sound menacing, but when put to the test, these words can mean death to the most menacing individuals in society. The year was 1978. The Virginia General Assembly put capital punishment back on the books. The vote was unanimous, and on April 8th, Governor John Dalton signed it into law. It's a popular law in Virginia. In a recent News Channel 6 Mason-Dixon poll, 69% of Richmond metro residents favor capital punishment. But ironically, juries in Richmond, the city with the state's highest murder rate, are slow to sentence a defendant to death. Learned Berry's been prosecuting in Richmond for nearly 20 years. Only once has he been able to convince a jury to sentence a murderer to death.
It seems to me that the city juries seem to be a little bit more tolerant than the suburban juries. Murders are committed every day. Capital murders are committed all the time. But again, if you don't have an overwhelming case, the Richmond jury is not the jury of choice for capital murder cases.
But a Richmond jury is what defense attorney Chris Collins prefers. He's represented 37 clients charged with capital murder. Only 3 were sentenced to death. Chris, do the odds go up for death in different jurisdictions?
Absolutely. I mean, it's probably not a coincidence that the 3 death sentences I've gotten are all in Chesterfield, and they're the only 3 capital murders I've tried in Chesterfield. Jurisdiction is critical.
Chesterfield prosecutor Warren Von Schuck tried those 3 cases and 7 others that ended in a death sentence. He's used to county juries sentencing killers to death. 5 in 6 do just that, as opposed to 1 in 10 in Richmond.
You've got a situation where you have usually the worst crime that's been committed in this community, probably in a decade, no matter what community it is. Chesterfield County jurors are very good about imposing the death penalty. I mean, that is something that they seriously consider. They are offended by violent crime.
Crimes like the ones committed by Timothy Spencer, the Southside Strangler. He raped, tortured, and murdered 4 women, including a 15-year-old Chesterfield girl. Spencer died last year in the state's electric chair. It's not easy getting into Virginia's death chamber. We had to make a lot of calls, and once we were in, we were searched and under constant guard. Reporters come here to help tell a story. Others come here to die. While we were here, 2 men were just feet away, waiting for their turn. A turn that 29 people have taken since Virginia juries resumed sentencing criminals to death. With an eye on Virginia, I'm Michelle Mowry, News Channel 6.